I didn't know I had to follow Ian, or Aiden, I'm sorry, Aiden. That was wonderful.
Who are you?
I'm your mother. You forget so quickly at 50? Wait till you get to be 80. Okay, I'm going to, as you see, I need help walking up here because I don't see. And so I've got a script here and it's in like 48 print and I still can't see it. So we have Meredith, our little savior here, is going to shine a flashlight on it. And if there are little dead air spaces, it just means I'm looking for my spot, okay? So, alrighty. When I was asked to do something for Sue, of course I would because I always do something, right? But I couldn't write a poem anymore because the rhymes just wouldn't come. So I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll look at her baby book and I will look at the Christmas letters that I wrote for so many years, starting in 1962, and I'll look for the paragraph about Sue, and I'll see what my memories really are about her. So that's what this is about. It's not going to be extremely funny, but I hope that you will all realize that some things in life never change. And Sue is one of them. We all know that she was born on February 9th, 1968. I think from the pictures, I just was dying when I saw those pictures because you're going to remember them when I read this thing. She was a beautiful little girl. She really was. She had blonde hair and she had blue eyes. She was very, very sweet, very cuddly. She came into a family of 3 brothers and 1 sister, and when we brought her home, everybody loved her. And Marcy thought it was a doll that lived. And so she was kind of like Meredith. She did everything for her. She wanted to change her pants, she fed her bottle, she held her, she walked around with her. And the boys were the same way. They really liked her, they held her. And the favorite picture I have when Sue was young, and I wish I would have brought it, but you wouldn't see it, it's only this big. And I couldn't see it to find it either. But it's Rod sitting on a couch with his first guitar, and Sue on his lap and playing. It's a sweet picture, and someday when you come Sue, you should take that picture. It's really great. At about 7.5 months, Sue started to say her first words, and they were like all babies. Baby, bye-bye, mama, dada, bottle, just like all little kids. But then a few months later, she started to put words into sentences. And her first sentence was, believe it or not, it's in the baby book, Susie wants a drink. Is that familiar to any of you? She takes after her mother, Freddie. When Sue started to say those words, she never stopped talking after that. Talk and talk and talk, and she drove everybody crazy. But she especially drove Marcy crazy because Marcy and she had to sleep together, and Sue talked in her sleep. And so Marcy said, I don't get any sleep. She talks all day, she talks all night. And so I used, what can I say? I said, well, live with it, that's life. I can't do anything about that. So Marcy decided to do it on her own. And you saw that picture with Susie as a little girl with the really cute little face and the long blonde hair. She was so adorable. Well, one night, Marcy got up in the middle of the night and went down the kitchen and got a mixing bowl, a small one, and a scissors. She came upstairs and said to Susie, let's play beauty shop. She woke her up, and she didn't know what she was doing. She was just a baby. And so she put the bowl on her head, and she cut her hair with the scissors. So the next morning, she came downstairs, and that beautiful little girl you saw there now looked, she had a bowl cut, she looked like one of the Beatles. I mean, it took a while for that hair to grow out, too. Yeah, she was also a little ham. She would go to the radio, and she would turn the radio on, and she'd look for a rock and roll station, and then she'd dance with the music all over the room. For some reason or other, Sue hated underwear. And I would dress her all up in the morning, and about an hour later, I'd see Sue running around half naked. No pants, no underwear. And the underwear laying on the floor. So I'd go pick them up, I'd dress her again. A little while later, maybe an hour or 2 later, there's Sue running around naked, and I'd have to hunt around the house for the underwear. This went on for a couple days, and I didn't know what to do about it. She didn't listen to me. And she just kept taking off her underwear. Well, one day, she's walking around without the underwear. I went to find, there's no underpants. And what in the heck is this? I went upstairs, I got another pair, put them on her. And a little while later, no underpants on the floor, but no underpants on Sue. And so I thought, well, I'm going to just stand behind the door here and watch and see what she does. It took me a while, because she never did anything like a minute apart. It was always like an hour. I smoked then, so I could sit behind that door and smoke a cigarette. That was kind of fun. I'd like to have one right now if somebody smokes. So anyway, I watched her, and so she had all her clothes on again, and she went behind the couch, and she came out half naked. So I went and I looked behind the couch, and there's like 4 or 5 pairs of underpants there. So I don't know how we cured her of this, and I don't think we did. I think she well, I didn't really mean it that way, but I was going to ask you, I hope she doesn't still do that. Look behind the couches. The other thing about Sue is that she loved clothes. She was just a clothes horse. And she changed clothes 5 times a day. She'd go in her dresser, she'd change clothes, she'd go in the closet and change clothes. And then one day she went into a closet, she put everything that she could get on her body on, just put it all on. She came out looking 10 pounds heavier. And that was the beginning of the word layering. And Susan still does layer. And by the way, yeah, and I think she's layered tonight, aren't you, Sue? Yeah. I told Susan one time, when she had children, she's going to have troubles. It would be like her. And I don't know that she believed me, but then of course she could laugh at me because along came Meredith. And is Meredith ever done anything wrong? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Aiden says
But then she had Aiden and Rachel. And Aiden and Rachel both talked a lot. They both asked a lot of questions. And Rachel took off her diaper. Oh, well, there we go. She's a clone of her mom, right? Well, she asked questions all the time. And one of her favorite things was the Pepsi commercial on TV and the song Hey Jude. She'd hear her brothers playing Hey Jude, and she loved that, so she sang that a lot. Let me see. Oh, when Dan came along, she got very jealous because she wasn't going to be the queen bee anymore. Everybody loved Dan. He was so cute, and they'd hold him and cuddle him, and she was out in the cold. So eventually, though, that went away. And Sue became Dan's best friend and his advocate. And then she got smart because she realized that I never really punished Dan when he did anything wrong. So she took Dan with her whenever she did anything wrong. And when I'd go to punish her, she'd say, well, Dan did it, he was with me, so. And I think she still does that. There was a phone call maybe about 3 months ago where I think she said, well, Dan did that. She still talked and talked all the time. She asked a lot of questions, and they were like, who's God? Where does he live? Where is heaven? What happens when you die? Are you going to have any more babies? And so I got a little tired of that, and so I said, you know, I'm having the parish priest over for dinner tonight. All those questions he can answer. So why don't you just sit at the table next to him and ask him the questions? Well, she did. She never stopped talking. He left before dessert. Then she started kindergarten, and boy, she came home after that first day. She was so thrilled. She loved it. She said, Mom, sit down. And I sat in the chair, and she said, I'm going to tell you about my afternoon. And I think it took her like 2 hours to tell me, because what she did was she made I thought she had a photographic memory. Every single thing that happened that day, I found out. And then her teacher called, and she said that Susan was just a ray of sunshine when she walked into a room. She was happy all the time, and her happiness was contagious. And then she said her exuberance was truly a gift. And I said, a gift? Have you lived with her? that's the day that when she came home from kindergarten, she decided she wanted to be a teacher, so she set the basement up with a little desk and a blackboard and a bunch of chairs around. She put all her dolls on it, and she brought Dan because he was the only one that she could really teach. And so when she wanted to play school, Dan had to always be there with her. Yeah, she played the piano. Yeah, and she also played the viola a little bit. I think that might have been a little bit later on. Everything was very dramatic with Sue. And I think that might be familiar too to some people. I think we know other people that are dramatic in the family. So I can remember one time her coming down the stairs and one hand on the hip, the other hand on her forehead, and she said, "You just don't understand me." She wanted a dollhouse for Christmas one year. And so I said to Ron, and Ron said, "I'll build it down the basement." So she wanted electric lights and a lot of furniture. So we'd go down there at night after she went to sleep, and he built the dollhouse, and I papered the walls, and we had it all set. And then Christmas Eve, we usually bring the toys and put them under the tree. Well, when Sue got up, there were just a couple little presents for her, and everybody else had a lot of things. So he said, "Well, Sue, you can go down the basement because Daddy couldn't get your present up the steps. It was too big." So her present stayed down there, and she had to play with it down there. And then she got tired of it, I think, because she really wanted it in her room, and we couldn't even get it out of the basement. She loved school, always loved school. But when she was about in third grade, she loved the extracurricular things better. She loved playing sports. She loved football, flag football, and baseball, and basketball, and soccer. And when it came to music, her favorites were John Travolta and Barry Manilow. When she got to junior high, she had to get braces on her teeth. But all that did was make her a member of the in crowd because all the kids had braces on them. But also, it was the first time that she had to take a shower in a shower room with a whole bunch of girls naked. And so that first day after that shower, she came home, and she was very upset. And I thought, "Oh, my poor baby, she's so modest." And she couldn't stand seeing other people naked. Well, after running around with no pants on, that was a stupid thing to think. Her problem was, when I asked her, she said, "Everyone's got hair under their arms except me." So I said, "Well, if you're embarrassed, just tell them you just shaved." And I think that kind of calmed her down. She didn't complain about that anymore. She could really shine in junior high because she could join in all the plays and all the choruses. She could play her viola. She loved it. So, but she still talked too much. When the report card came the first time, they said she's a good student, but she talks too much in class. Then we bought the cottage in Waupaca, and Sue really liked that because, who wouldn't? A teenage girl, 14, 15 years old, and all these good-looking boys, and the fast boats, and the water skiers. She was so happy. There were some times when we had a boat on the dock with a boy in it, and a car in the driveway with a boy in it, and Sue had to go back and forth to keep them both happy. Then the picture post came out, and you saw those two pictures. And you saw those pictures of the picture post. She was on the picture post, which was really an honor for her, she thought. And we thought it was really nice, too. However, when she got back to school in fall, the first day, a lot of the boys had the picture post picture in their lockers. So she came home a little embarrassed that time. So, Sue, I'm going to stop now. That's enough. But I just wanted to tell you that you are... Bring it over here. You are great woman. I was going to say great girl, but you told me I can't call you a girl anymore. You're a great woman. You've got a great husband. You've got great kids. You've done a wonderful job. We love you very much. You are going to always be our lady baby. So what I've got here for you, and I want you to come up here and get it, okay? First of all, here's your baby book, and everyone's going to take their baby book this weekend, please. We're trying to move. I don't want all this crap around the house. Open that up. Open that. Open that up and show them what it is. This is what I found in the music cabinet when I was going through it.
Barry Manilow.
Here's your other present. I want to see that hanging on your wall.